Welcome to Fashion Reverie Talks. I am Cicely Daniels.
I am Tiana Ibrahimovic.
Fashion Reverie takes you from the front lines of fashion to the front row.
All of Fashion Reverie Talk segments are based on published content found on fashionreverie.com.
So remember, if you want more information on the segments, go to fashionreverie.com.
In this episode, we chat about our favorite celebrities embracing spring 2022 fashion trends, and we speak with our editor-in-chief, William Gooch, about the fashion metaverse.
We start every episode of Fashion with our fashion news, and our news segments are based on the fashion news alerts found on fashionreverie.com. Okay, so let's jump into the current events. We are first going to talk about Olivier Rousteing's new gig. So some would call him the bad boy of fashion, which I think is such a fun, kind of name to have. And the question would be, would it be enough for Rousteing being the creative director of Balmain? No. So apparently now it was revealed that he will be a guest designer for Gaultier's haute couture collection. So it's very exciting, and the collection is going to be revealed in July of 2022. So people I like when there's like fashion gossip. People show up places and they're like, shh, what's going on?
I think this is such a great idea. I think they're a match. I don't know why they call him a bad boy of fashion. I didn't know this. I mean, I'm excited to see the collection because I'm a fan of both designers. So I think it's a great match. I think it will be innovative, exciting. Yeah, and exactly what fashion world needs.
I was gonna say, I think we're all looking for excitement and fun right now. So we're here for it. Like
I know, enough with the minimalism and enough with average designs. Sorry,
exactly.
but that's how I feel. Well, also worldly news. We all know there is a lot happening with Russia and the US and other countries sanctioning Russia over Ukraine. And several fashion and beauty brands are following, the example of closing stores and limiting inventory. So we'll see how that will actually affect Russians on the, on long way. But for now, there's some brands like L'Oreal, Sephora, Tommy Hilfiger, Michael Kors, Kenneth Cole that have limited their sales and closed stores in Russia. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much are Russians buying Sephora. I'm sure there are other like brands or like chains that they have there. So it's hard to tell from like living in the West. What do you think about it, Cicely?
I feel like maybe it's going to be, obviously I'm anti all war. So maybe little by little, unfortunately, like I feel very bad for individuals who are fully innocent, who have to deal with any type of sanctions or, cutbacks, or they're not able to shop or get their products or whatever. But, maybe if there is unrest enough, like it will encourage them to seek out peace. That's what I'm gonna. I
also think like people that are into buying luxury, I think they also have many other channels,
right? That's
especially those things you can sometimes buy from personal shoppers that are
exactly anyone who has that kind of money for especially the high-end brands. They probably still have their high-end brand connections or something if it's that dramatic.
Yeah, exactly. And I wonder also about the prices, like maybe Sephora is too expensive for an average Russian. Mm-hmm. That will in the long run and in the end anyway be most affected. So
well, that's who our hearts go out, obviously, to everyone in Ukraine and everyone in Russia that's being affected, impacted, so seriously. And I hope for a peaceful resolution soon.
Mhm.
One last bit of fashion news we'll talk about today is about Marc Jacobs. So, Marc Jacobs, fashion darling for many, many years, definitely a very popular line. And unfortunately, Marc Jacobs is defunct for the past few years, but Jacobs has launched a new brand called Heaven by Marc Jacobs. And the goal is to appeal to a youthful, young consumer. And because a lot of big like stars and actors that are part of the campaign. Most recently, one of them is Mina Suvari. And many of you know the actress from her very iconic role in American Beauty. And so in the spring 2022 campaign, they are recreating that kind of like there's like a famous like image of her like with all of the like roses around her and she's all like being young and sexual and sexy and innocent, but not, so so that's being created, and she looks great. She looks amazing, and I think that Marc Jacobs, I feel like I said, fashion darling. Like I think people like really like him and really like his work. So I think that, and there's usually a lot of fun in his designs, and so I think that that will appeal to young people as well as former fans continued people who continue to be
Yeah.
fans.
I think it's just like a masked way of just keep doing what he has been doing the whole time, just under like a different name, because he's always been appealing to individuals who like youthful, colorful designs. So let's see what Heaven brings us.
Exactly. Well, those are our fashion news alerts that we're going to talk about today. But keeping you up to date with trends and what's going on, I would like to speak with my co-host, Tiana, about her fantastic article about the trends that celebrities are embracing this spring in spring 2022. So tell me about it. What are people wearing? What do you like? Why do you like it?
Oh my God. I'm actually so excited because before spring, I'm always ready to go for some shopping. Some of these trends you can already find in your closet. Others, you will need to like boost up your wardrobe. But there are few trends that celebrities are embracing. And of course, that gives us motivation for our own style. So I will start with the most risque, I'd say, trend, which is micro skirts. Now, a lot of us gained some weight during COVID, but, and still trying to get it off. But I mean, I'm talking about myself.
I'm talking about myself too, girl. I'm right there with you, girl. So I was like, "Ooh, cute skirts, so short."
I do want to embrace the micro skirt trend. So working, for it. But anyway, so one of the celebrities that I think pulls off this trend really well is Dua Lipa. So she wore this low on the hips with a very high cut, little micro skirt, very little.
very little skirt, very cute. She looks so cute. I was like,
exactly. And that trend really fits great on her. She can show off those beautiful long legs. This particular outfit is it was for a Versace event in London. And so this is also a Versace sequin miniskirt with a safety pin detailing. And it's purple with a shimmering green top and satin heels that really made heads turn.
I love the colors. So for anyone who's not quite ready for their micro skirt yet, I feel like you can also like take a cue from the color combination, because it's still giving you very like fun spring, little sparkly. I love that not only was it a micro skirt, but it also had the slit where you got the like safety pins. I was like,
You also have to add them somewhere else too.
Right. You also have to like watch out with your, just to know like how short your skirt is when you're sitting down or walking or anything. So, keep it in mind, everyone.
Yeah. Or maybe not sit down. I think I'll take that advice.
No sitting. You don't sit. Okay, got it. Okay, wonderful.
But let's continue to something that's like more accessible to like all shapes and sizes. And we all already have it in our closets, which is like colorful, bursting looks, especially monochromatic looks. So color combinations on the runway and our favorite celebrities embracing color is just kind of irresistible to pass during springtime. You know, it brings a life to all of our looks. So, I mean, especially around fashion weeks in the past weeks, we could see some great looks. And I did really want to use Zendaya as a, you know, example. So, and her look during Valentino pink PP collection, which was all about pink, or rather fuchsia, that and monochromatic looks. So this is something that is a beautiful transition between the two seasons. It really leaves a great impression, and I like to say it's sort of perfect also for our social media feed. So most of your Instagram looks or TikTok looks really would pop in these bright monochromatic colors.
I loved this ensemble. I think it's so great because obviously, you know, like it was like that gorgeous fuchsia, so bright, so eye-catching, but like that had like the beautiful details with the floral applique on the pant. That coat is stunning, like by itself or with that outfit. And I also like what you said, like it's very friendly to anyone who is still fully working on their getting back into shape post-COVID.
Micro skirt.
Right. You know, working towards their micro skirt. Like you could, like, I feel like anybody could feel really confident in a really great monochromatic look and just have that, like, you know, sense of confidence and style, like, you know, to kind of take them through their day. So I think this is a great look for people.
Yeah. And so there's a third trend, which is stripes, also very closet friendly. I mean, I'm sure we all have some stripes in our closets. So it's a trend that keeps coming back. And so big stripes, skinny stripes, or really bold in your face stripes have been very on trend for spring 2022. There is actually an old trick or thing people in the fashion industry believe, which is horizontal stripes can make you look thinner. This is because they seem to fill space. But on the contrary, vertical stripes can elongate your figure and make you look taller. I mean, I think that makes you look slimmer immediately. So thanks to the one and only Jean-Paul Gaultier, you know, he's very well known for his stripes trend. And so this trend continued. And so Julia Fox, that has been so in the media, we know why, because of her, you know, month-and-a-half relationship with Kanye. I think she probably lost some weight since, but she did, because she did mention she lost like 15 pounds dating Kanye. So her sort of fashion looked a little bit different, but she presented stripes horizontally, vertically, like the proper way with this Jean-Paul Gaultier look. And she was channeling the signature look of the house's perfume bottle with the sheer and striped bodycon dress. Her curves really look good in this.
Yeah, she looked good. I'm not always a stripe person, but I was like, you can definitely see it, you know, like working, you know, in her outfit, and like you can, you know, her curves were accented but looked really good in it. So again, stripes being very friendly fashion that you can, so you can be on trend and feel really confident at the same time. Thank you, Jana. So there are still a few more trends highlighted in her fantastic article, so you know where to go to check it out.
Well, I would like to welcome our editor-in-chief, William Gooch, and we will be discussing quite an interesting topic, fashion in the metaverse. So our coworker, Tessa, she wrote a great article on metaverse, but William is here to discuss it with us because after all, he's the editor-in-chief and the expert in all things fashion. So welcome, William.
Thanks for having me back. I don't know if I'm such an expert in the fashion metaverse. It's kind of it's not really new, but it's taking on different nuances and different new manifestations. And, this is unusual, Tiana, for me to be on two episodes back to back. I don't think I've never been on two episodes back to back. But, unfortunately, Tessa couldn't join us. So I'm just kind of filling in for her on her article that she wrote, an excellent, excellent article. And she actually wrote two articles on it. One is an interview with a metaverse digital stylist, and the other one is the interview on the metaverse in general. So let's get started. Let's get started.
Yeah, so we're all familiar with Facebook, and last year, Mark Zuckerberg announced Facebook's name change to Meta.
Right.
Actually, in October, towards the end of the year, 2021. So many are debating whether we are entering to the next era of the internet, named the Metaverse. So it's obviously affecting fashion. So what is the fashion metaverse?
Okay. The fashion metaverse is on one level, because it's morphing, a kind of a fantasy digital universe you can live in where you can create your own profile, your own personality, your own avatar, so to speak. And then you can dress your avatar, style your avatar any way you want to based on your personal likes and dislikes. So what's really interesting about it is, let's say you're a young lady from a small town, you grew up very conservatively, you were never allowed to wear very revealing clothes, like one of the trends in your article, Tiana, which you guys didn't get a chance to talk about, which is the sheer trend or the diaphanous fabric trend, where you really show a lot of skin. You can create an avatar that would wear those type of clothes and have a place to wear it. So that's what the digital metaverse fashion is about. It's creating an alter ego, if you want to call it that, online, where you can go to certain places, have certain experiences, and dress for those places and dress for those occasions. That's what the fashion metaverse is. And it's really taking a much stronger um, place in fashion because of so many of the things that are happening right now in the world, where people aren't able to move and groove like they used to.
And so, how are fashion brands tapping into this concept? How are they handling it?
Well, one of the brands I'm going to mention is Balenciaga. Balenciaga did a big fashion show called The Age of Tomorrow, where they created all these space looks, big puffer astronaut jackets, moon boots. If you can, I think one of the images is up right now. You can look at it, and it's about how would you dress for the age that's coming, or tomorrow, for the future. And this was a whole digital futuristic presentation done online, and you could actually marry your own personality or your avatar with those looks. So what a lot of brands are doing is they're matching this metaverse fashion with their own signature DNA to get people to actually buy more, or if not buy more, just to get more interest in the brand. Because we're living in a time where people just aren't spending as much money on fashion. So what they're trying to do is in this digital age, you find another way to create interest. Fashion is always changing, always evolving, and it has to keep up with the times that we're living in. And this is just another innovation. Not going to replace shopping. It's not going to replace going out in person to events. It's not going to replace having great pieces in your wardrobe, but it's a way to kind of fantasize about what you would do and could do.
So you did touch upon some of the aspects of it, but how could the fashion metaverse break down barriers?
Well, think about it. You're a young person, you don't have a lot of money. You see these incredible, garments and clothes on Instagram, you look at the runway videos every season from Paris, Milan, London, New York. You don't have access to these clothes. You don't have the budget for these clothes. You could actually, in your own way, create an avatar and acquire these clothes and put them on and live the life that you aspire to live. So that's what this whole thing is about, is getting people a reason to aspire. Because let's be honest, Tiana, I mean, we experience this all the time. We go to a lot of fashion shows. And most of the things we see, we cannot afford, even though we work in fashion, we cannot afford to buy. So this is a way for you to acquire it in a virtual fantasy world without having to buy money. So it's pay a lot of money for it. So it's a very democratic way of making fashion accessible. And one thing it does is it cuts down on the global footprint. It increases sustainability. And, you know, it's just an all around democratic way of experiencing fashion. You may be a woman or a man that's a little larger, and some designers don't make clothes in your size. You can create an avatar where you can wear those clothes. So it's just another way of experiencing fashion globally, wherever you are.
Interesting. So do you think that the fashion metaverse is the result of the COVID-19 pandemic? And if so, how has the COVID-19 increased the popularity of the fashion metaverse?
No, the fashion metaverse existed before COVID-19. I don't know if you remember, Tiana, there were a few brands that were using model avatars in their campaigns. They were actually making a model avatar, an animated digital model avatar to market their campaign. So that was kind of the beginning of the fashion metaverse. In fact, there was one model that was so well done as a digital avatar, people didn't even know it was not a real person.
Wow.
And she was actually booking jobs, but it was not a real person. It was an avatar. They were booking jobs and getting campaigns. But so that was kind of before COVID. But COVID has definitely increased the popularity of this because, you know, for a while we were on lockdown, we were quarantined, couldn't go out, you couldn't go anywhere, you were stuck at home. So this was a way to kind of keep you interested in fashion while we couldn't move and groove and do the things that we used to do. So it has definitely increased it. But what's also happening is, you know, Tiana, we're living in really, really interesting times where there is a lot of income inequality. There is tremendous climate change, climate disaster. There are so many things that are keeping us from having the life that we would like to live. We have to work a little bit harder to have that life. And these fashion metaverse avatars are giving us the ability to do just that. So COVID and the current conditions that we're living under on this ever-changing, ever-evolving planet is making this more popular. Again, I want to say this, it's not going to replace live fashion. It's just another expression.
I sure hope so. We'll
Because
see.
we love live fashion, correct?
Exactly. Yeah, I don't think it's replaceable. So let's see. Behave, metaverse, behave.
Behave, people.
Yes. Thank you so much, William. For more, you know, everyone can check out the article on fashionreverie.com.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, viewers, that's it for the episode of Fashion Reverie Talks.
We would like to thank fashionreverie.com editor-in-chief William Gooch for joining us.
And for information on these and other stories, go to fashionreverie.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.